And we are live. Hi. So, last time we played this game, I was not completely awake and tried to explain a few things without realizing that I was not able to explain a few things. Where is the map? But more seriously, when we started the game, we first did this first dungeon and those 4 mini dungeons. All of them being mini dungeons, since one was more or less the introduction to the game, and those 4 were not particularly long. That being said, we are now going to go through the next main dungeon, the next Immortal dungeon. I am not sure how long the game is going to... how long I'm going to be playing the game, but I will at the very least finish that Immortal dungeon, probably do a few other dungeons, maybe up to the point where I unlock or reach the next Immortal dungeon. And I will also try my best to explain the background to the game. Something that the game is unfortunately not very good at. I will summon the Pipe Driver. Here's a Lana Solarhagen lens. Got Lana one Solarhagen lens. One of the more useless Solarhagen lens. That used to be Moon Beauties. She came here. No, it must be one of the Count's trap. My sort of sense tells me there are immortals around. This is an Immortal dungeon. Say hello, Django. As for why I say it's one of the more useless ones. And so the moon uses no energy, which is useful, but...
Django.
Dark, isn't it? Dungeons are full of dark areas where it's hard to see. Enemies may lurk in the shadows. Check with the R button. Hold on the R button and look to and use the control pad to look around. I feel I've messed up in my findings because it's the L button for me. Push darkness away with the light. Or still up, but still. Be careful when moving in the darkness. In case, yeah. We will now find every now and again dark dungeons where you can't see shit.
Django.
Ah, I see a neat little puzzle. You won't get the treasure unless you think before you act. With the boxes with care, you can't drag those movable blocks. If you make a mistake, just leave the room and come back. When you re-enter, everything will be the way it originally was. If by chance you can't leave the room, use a full card you picked up in Fox Castle. You can start over from the room, but the card is for the defeated. Use it as a last resort. It is a very simple puzzle overall. The next arcade is going to be important later. And since there's not really any way you can really show this off on, Luna Lens will not use any energy, however it will not do any damage. It will not do any stun either. It's basically not going to do anything much. So this specific cannon frame, the spear frame, will push monsters and enemies quite a ways. It's basically going to blast them across the entire room, if it doesn't kill. With this specific setup, it will just blast them across the room. However, since it doesn't stun or do any damage, they will still detect you. So this is more a lens meant for puzzles, more than actually any kind of combat. Which I find kind of unfortunate. I would have liked if it was... Django, that's a solar lamp over there. It was a solar gun tout at the time. And yeah, it can still affect things like switches and lights. But I do feel like if it had been able to still do stun, it would have been pretty nice. This is empty gold. Warp outside the dungeon. Useful in order to get away. Because there's an undead over there. God. How come the wall to get his attention? Press the A button and fly into it wall. It's a useful technique. Try to master it. And I can't believe this is when they finally explain to you, yeah, you can knock on walls. It's super late into the game. A solar station. We automatically stores energy, blah 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 blah. That's a lot. Like the latest door there must be some kind of contraption, switch on the floor, like the weight switch, anything like this is the weight. So sometimes when you talk to a Tenko that by the ink panels, he just talks a bit, not as much about the puzzle, but just about things in general. So I'm probably going to talk to the ink panel, I think. Just in case he says something funny. About selling a new battery. I didn't realize we got that so early. So right now we have a single battery. Double adds another bar. It's very useful because a lot of guns, as we find new frames, they will require more energy. There is not any energy usage kind of what's the name? Metric, but it it's useful to have more energy. I think I have an issue. Everything seems to be looking fine. I'm gonna trust that everything is working fine. If something isn't, maybe somebody can do it. What was I going to say? Right, yeah. I thought that was going to be found a bit later. And yeah, so as you can see, I can shoot those, but I'm not doing any kind of damage. In order to properly do damage, I need to use the soul lens. Oops. Like that. In which case, we see the HP bar. Ah, yes. So this is another thing where you have to come back with a specific lens, which we will probably unlock in 2 dungeons. But once again, the kind of stuff I don't... This backtracking is kind of a pain in the butt. I don't really tend to do it much.
Otenko!
A spider. You can blast its spider web with sunlight or light from your gun. The red ones are poison spiders. Watch out for their poison. If I remember correctly, you can just shoot the spider webs with the lever in order to make them go away. So at least that's that. As also a quick overview of the plot I was going to make for I was going to make for this game. I will probably do it later. Sure. Map. Okay, so what's behind the box is something I can access. Whether or not I can access it right now on this first go into the dungeon, or if it's going to be a thing for later, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so this... I kind of recognize this place. So this is actual game progress. They heard me, but so over there is actual game progress, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to go up here because I think this will move. I believe I'm going to find a life route around. And yes, I can access routes like this. I forgot that the game does not let you see. So the speed nut is probably one of the more important thing you can have. So yes, it's a lemon, but it's a nut. Welcome to the solar nut game. Using it makes you a lot faster. Forgot. Banana. Bananas make you stronger. That must have been my stuff. And the other advantage of the solar Nerdens is that you can use it in order to break open the bamboo solar shots. Solar bamboo shots.
Otenko.
We're switching that. Is there doesn't look like that. Okay, maybe something else. So this is the reason why in the previous dungeon I was trying to get those mummies to go onto the switches. And I forgot to switch to sub. So yeah, it does not stun, as you've been able to see. That's the main use I have for this specific lens, is just spin to win or similar in order to break open bamboo shoots, because free stuff. Entrance, courtyard. And now we don't have to worry about that ever again. Ever since the lattice door here was something that required somebody to stay down, it's now locked forever. So that's why I wanted to get all of those chests. And now we're in the courtyard. There is nothing much in the courtyard. Except, as you can see, it's weirdly shaped. Have a simple nut, which is like green line. But is there anything hidden? Alright. I was hoping for a hidden chest, honestly. Enter the numbers according to the sum.
Otenko.
What is a code? There's sum somewhere? Maybe numbers can be added to find a sum? Experiment the data. Use the A button to move the levers. So it looked mysteriously like a freeze. I'm pretty sure I just have to do this. And now this is a puzzle that is going to take me a bit, because I am terrible at math. Turn over the days and enter the time order. I got a coin. Journal. Book of the seventh stroke of the bell. A relaxing digger and left the house 2 hours later. Took another long stroll to the library and read a few books. The new day came. I ate a snack an hour later. Played with the pigeons for 2 hours in the park. Returned, cleared for 2 hours. Broke my fast with blood for 3 hours. And at last took off in. Same old diet, same old routine. And I've already forgotten everything that's been said in here, so I am going to open my blood knot. So he woke up at 7. Then he had a relaxing dinner and left the house 2 hours later, so that's 9. An hour-long stroll, so that's 10. New day came at a snack an hour later. Here that means 12 and then 1. Played with the pigeons for 2 hours, that's 3. Return clean for 2 hours, that's 5. I broke my fast for 3 rebirth for 3 hours, so that should be 8. I guess so. 3, 5, and 8. Hooray! I need to check something real quick. Goodbye. Good apple. You can sidewall in order to avoid setting off the brakes. Which was what I was trying to do in that other room, but yeah, I couldn't do it. Mostly because I'm dumb. Other use for the Luna. Yeah. So those black bugs are just going to drain your energy gauge. Other use for the Luna, those crystals contain infinite health, and in order to deploy them, you're supposed to shoot them. So just don't bother using Sol or any other line, just use Luna because it does the same. So that should be a pretty simple box puzzle. Puzzle here are really easy. You feel that, Django? The dark sensation coming from beyond that door. It might be the Count. At last, Django. Block puzzles get a lot more complicated or weirder once ice physics is involved.
Ortenko!
We can't get through here yet. We need a heavy object. Okay, we're gonna find one in a few months. I'll die trying to find one at least. There wasn't any sunspot anywhere. I forgot to light the sunlight.
Ortenko!
That's a leather operated replica. The person who's on it can't make it move. If it's for moving things. It will be for moving things. Ah, right. Mania. Of course it doesn't reach.
Ortenko!
That's so easy. He tried putting on something on it. I think that is going to just count as detected.
Ortenko!
I sense something. Django, that's a good ghost. Many know as the Valley Bug. They're sensitive to sunlight. You can find them in the dark, but they disappear with them. That's a hint of sunlight. Light a room, you need a skylight, still light. Light and dark. You can control light and dark by exposing the sensor or hiding it from sunlight. You can do it, sir, boy Django. So because of how... Right now, there's too much light, they are invisible. However, if there's one or two, they are visible. If we're at 0, we don't see anything. Hopefully there's nothing too crazy around here. I'm pretty sure there's like, yeah... There's a room I want to get into. I think there's a green chest in there. I know, you actually do have to get in there in order to progress the game. Right there. So. That's gonna be good. Keep it that. And...
Django.
That's trembling. The whole room was shaking. Oh, yeah, is this? An elevator. Let me see something. There's 2 detects. Should. That's why. And as you can see, we are no longer getting up in the same room. Actually, now that is done... And done. Ah, puzzle.
Django.
Ready, Django? Then we wooden box from here. To here. Is that right? Oh, bombs! We found grenade! We found a bomb solar gun grenade. Grenades are a type of sub-weapon for your solar gun. The bomb explodes on impact. One blast is enough to defeat one grenades. Bomb grenades can be shot across walls that are 1 block high. You can get enemies from behind the wall. Bombs make a loud noise when they explode. Be careful not to attract unwelcome attention. The grenades from the gun swing, you press the L button to fire. Like shots and spread, there's a limit to how many you can use. And bombs are actually fire bombs, so we're gonna have to be careful with that. I will try to line up a shot once I'm here, because I'm pretty sure since there are fire bombs. Okay, never mind, I don't. I thought since those were fire bombs, because it do like enemies on fire who can be lit on fire, that it would light the boxes on fire. Apparently not. And we're about to fight a boss. Despite what you'd think, the bombs are not very useful against the boss. They give them to you right as the boss is going to... as you're going to fight the boss, so you think it would be really effective, but not really. Snatches of conversation can be heard. Immediately. Without a hitch. How about you? Ah, yes. The earthly maiden, going as planned. Good. Guardians. The vampire hunter. I will take care of him. He's just a little boy. Well, it's up to you, Count.
Don't worry.
You dirty boy. Like he was a queen's order. That moonshine.
Django.
Secret. What does it say? But who? No, there's no sense in worrying about it. Django, it's time to confront the Count. Are you ready? Yes. And I'm going to beat his ass with Luna. Because in this game there are multiple ways to fight a boss. As I've shown with the sword, you can attack the sword directly, or you can use the advantage of some of the attacks. So you'd think you would live in the total darkness, but no. So nice to see you, little hunter. I suppose the woman. If she's not there, she is a sacrifice we need to complete our plan. I can't keep her later. It's time. Won't be much of a battle. A young shrimp like you. Anyway, can't pass up a chance to feast on fresh hunter blood. And the band begins to play. Ready for some musical of blood? I don't know what voice, I'm just keeping it out now. That's one thing that's kind of unfortunate about this game, is you really use a lot of different frames, and going into the menu in order to change which frame you have tends to kind of kill you in terms of the fight most of the time. Normally when I fight him, I just keep blasting in his direction. Like that, but I don't think you guys need to hear the constant sound of the fighting. So if he manages to catch you with a specific attack, he will do damage to you and repeat himself, because he is a vampire after all. However, if you're in the sunlight, at the start of the fight, I think I'm too late to show it off, but at the start of the fight, he will just get into the sunlight and hurt himself like an idiot. However, I think we're far enough into the fight and he's helpful that he is just going to move to the side and not actually get hit. Never mind, he's an idiot and running right into it. Hey! I guess it's if you've done it enough time during the fight, that's something that happens, but otherwise, yeah. And I just realized I messed up. So, I'll explain it after the cutscene. I'll explain it after the cutscene. I messed up, but not too much, so not that important. Looks like she's alright. What is this? Moon Duty? You saved my life, thank you. I am Otenko, messenger of the sun. This is Solar Boy Django, the vampire hunter. Who are you? I am the caretaker of the solar tree. Mother Gaia's earthly maiden, Pita. That day the immortals attacked San Miguel. When I awoke, the solar tree and I had been captured by the city of the death. The solar tree, infected by Istakan. The immortals can't be that strong. Somebody must be behind this. I almost forgot, at the solar plant under the solar tree, the Earth's energy is activated, and special solar fruits can be grown. I don't actually go solar fruit, but there were solar nuts. I'm sure it would be of some help to you. Please come and see. Head north from here, follow the road, it's not far. I will return and prepare the garden for planting.
Keep the sun always in your heart.
Keep the sun always in your heart. You think she'd be fine by herself? She'd be fine, she's Django's love interest. Also try me next, filth. Well, anyway, let's move the Count's coughing up. He's an immortal, a being outside of the living realm. The immortals have never lived, and they can never die. In time, the Count will recover. Before that happens, use the pile driver to reduce him to nothing. Let's go, Django. Have we been to the passage on the west side of the first floor? Have we been to the passage on the west side of the first floor yet? So, it's never happened to me, but I'm pretty sure if you leave the thing alone long enough, the boss will just respawn. I think that's how I've always understood that, but that's true, I don't actually. As for what I mean by I messed up, when the boss, the Count, could have dropped a special item. I forgot the name of it. The Walnut? Or... Mr. Sunwatt or something along those lines. Which is... and this is why we need it's in order to send the thing down. So he can drop a thing, and in order to make him drop said thing, you do need to use what I've been doing. You need to do that. You need to shoot him with... you need to shoot him with his own... and I'm not even watching. Everything's going to be terrible. You need to shoot his cane back to him. However, I've done it entirely with the Luna lens rather. But if you do it with a sun lens, you actually like infuse your lens with the power of the sun, and in so doing, you are able to destroy his escape that burns away. And by burning that away, you are able to find a small secret. In the game proper, it's a pretty nasty debuff, which prevents you from going over 2 bars of sunlight at any one time. At least if I remember the wiki correctly, because I was really confused as to what the hell that thing was. The game will give you stuff sometimes, but not really explain properly what it means. And that's a thing I looked up on the wiki. And it blocks your ability to go above 2 sun gauge, 2 units on the sun gauge. I can explain my first. And the only way to get rid of that debuff is something fairly convoluted. That is definitely not something you'd think of doing by your non-sun. If I remember correctly, the thing in question is we're gonna end up at a place called the Solar Tree that Lita has mentioned. And every morning, and the game is kind of finicky on what it defines as the morning, you can... Game does not like having a lot of things on the sprites on the game on the screen. Yeah, I am going to have a terrible ranking here. Yeah, I have a key. I don't remember if I ever found a key for that door with all the numbers and some quadrants.
Tango.
This seems full of dark information. Oh no, this is like if you're inside the barrier, it will be helpful to use the sunspot. Use the solar barrier when you need to use the coffin. So if I use the coffin here, it's going to slowly make its way back to the boss room. By dropping it here, it's not going to be alright. What was about this? Yeah, it's what about the solar tree thing? It's not super clear when exactly sun at the dawn is, but in order to avoid that you get rid of the debuff, you're supposed to go to the solar tree at dawnbreak and get it's like a solar dew or something it's called. That will turn it into a different item that I don't know if it actually does anything. You see? Kind of annoying in I missed it, but that's not too much of an issue. And as I said, it's not in the regular game, but in this totally legit version that is in the modified, it doesn't work that way since I can already affect the amount of sunlight manually. That item does not affect anything. For sunlight, and we'll see how that works. If you remember, they mentioned you had to use spread in order to activate those. You don't actually need it to activate those. It's just faster. At least more convenient. But in theory, you can just use the shot. You can use the spear, but you can't use bullets. Bullets will not activate the pipe rider. I think bullets can get rid of the darkness when the darkness is creeping up the beams. But beyond that, I'm not sure. And as you can see here, now the boss is just going to use attacks from his boss fight in order to try and murder us. It's not anything special because it's the first boss, which I always found it weird that the first boss is the guy who killed your father. You'd think it would have a bigger emotional climax than that, but no, we're just fighting the guy Django was dead the most first. Unfortunately, the game does not do quite good of a job in order to really sell its plot. The plot is very much more an excuse for a weird quirky game animation. Even if for some reason I am quite attached to it. Impossible! We expire? So I didn't mention it, but as a boss's red health goes down, it's going to enter panic mode, and once it's in panic mode, it's going to attack much faster, and I think it does a bit more damage, and it's going to have darkness creep up the energy much faster. That blood of yours belongs to a solar child. You are truly his. Count! What have you done with immune booty? That woman, that traitor, a precious sacrifice for the queen. She's not far enough, but you'll never make it there. There's no way you can break the seals of the two dark guardians. My job is done, soon the earthly maiden will follow. I'll be waiting the line of death, son of my rival! He's saying it like it's some kind of revelation when we already know it, which is kind of weird. But Tenko said as much, like, oh yeah, your father died because of him. And guardians? Yeah. And here we come to an issue for a high rank run. You can redo mortal undead dungeons in order to get a better rank. If I remember correctly, it will remember the best rank you had, and will use that in order to calculate your max rank at the end of the game. Immortal ranks do not have that. You do it once, and that's it. Good luck. So, unfortunately, we are never getting a great rank in this game, at the end of the story. But since this isn't a high rank run, I don't mind much. Dark Sea is gone. We can continue. We must hurry to the Django. We must hurry to the Northlands. And because we had a terrible rank, what we found was rotten nuts. Yeah, we found a bunch of rotten fruit, which you can throw away. And I think I will explain the backstory of the plot of the game during the next undead dungeon. By the way, Django, how about your lens? Solar gun lens is not an ordinary plate of glass. It amplifies sunlight and converts it to various kinds of energy. Different types of energy affect the undead and immortals in different ways. There are various lenses to find out which one is the most effective. Some lenses have properties for use outside of battles. You will probably come up with a few of these. When a lens purifies an undead or immortal, it records experience and develops. In this way, a lens goes through a level up. If you can raise the level of a lens, you can get that much closer to the sun. The highest level is 3. It's up to you which lands to develop, Django? Okay. Big on bot. No, where was I? Right. I forgot. We were just going to keep going. The lens level up as you use them. It's not a fast level up. The main way to level them up is through killing bosses, because that gives you a ton of experience. Especially for lands who... This is usually an alternate way to kill bosses, such as the Count and the staves, rods, hands. I don't really know what they are. That's the main way you can level up lands who is unable to do any damage. But even then, that's kind of slow, because we were using the lunar lens and it didn't actually level up once we've killed the Count. And we've met Lita, again. Good to see you. Mr. Antico, Mr. Django. This is the Solar Tree, the shrine of light that supports the whole world. It's kind of dead. The dark race of immortals and their undeadening have reduced it to this. Undeadening. The curse that uses dark matter to turn all living things to undead. But with Master Django's efforts, I'm sure he'd be able to restore to the soul of glory. Spreading out underneath is the solar plant. And solar fruits in the solar tree's root allow us to get more fruits and nuts. You can combine different solar fruits to create new types of plants. Be sure to experiment replanting the solar nut.
Here!
That's solar nut. There's an A button in front of a root hollow, and pick a fruit to plant and start to get things out of the way. There's a few Easter eggs here. If I remember correctly, you can... Yeah, I don't... If you use a solar nut and don't plant it, she gets angry and gives you another one. If you did 3 times, she kicks your ass. Is the stream alive? Because my computer just told me OBS had an unexpected issue. Oops. But it looks fine, it looks alive, so I'm just going to move on. As I said. Right, so If I plant the solar nut alone, it's going to give me more solar nuts. However, if I merge it with a speed nut, it's going to give me a banana. And if I do... Life fruit is one fruit you can never do more of, which makes sense. Speed nut plus... That's a life fruit. No, that's not a life fruit. I forget the name of it. I think it's a heal fruit or something like that. It's a fruit here. There's a fruit called Revive Fruit, which is, if you die, it revives you, but it's usually at the point I need to know it. Golden apple is the best kind of apple you can use. Okay, so it's going to be speed fruit plus banana. So Django, excellent job. It will take some time before your solar fruit is ready to be harvested. The fruits, as their name suggests, need sunlight to grow. The more sunlight collected by your sensor, the faster they sprouts, Master Django. Some fruits need more sunlight than others to ripen, but they are all gifts to us from the sun. Look after everything until they are ready. Bon voyage! Here's a solar plant anytime you need to. I know! Monsieur Django, take this!
Here!
Solar leaf. Use this solar leaf to come see me, the solar tree whenever you like. Come back when you're weary of battle. Aww. And the idea is don't use your solar leaf. Instead, plant it. So, how this is going to work is, like the game said, the higher your solar... Oh, it's already drawn. The higher your solar gauge goes, the faster everything is going to grow. For instance, the solar leaves are already done. That was disturbingly fast. And I'm going to plant another one. So the faster it grows, the better. And the tree here, right now it's dead, but the more energy and soul you absorb with your solar sensor, the more alive it's going to become, and the more alive it is, the more true root hollows are going to be unlocked. And as you just see here, your your harvest of solar fruit is not going to be consistent. I believe it can be anywhere from 2 to 6. It will always at least double the amount you receive, and there is a fruit you can unlock later, which is... It doesn't do anything except boost the amount of solar fruits you will get from a harvest. I am going to get one last harvest of this fruit, of the solar leaves, and that's going to be it. I will probably do some farming on the side of solar fruits, which is going to just be me waiting on the screen with This is a totally legit and 100% normal copy of the game, so I can speed things up. And I'm gonna put some mushroom here. And yeah, I will just do my best in order to get maximum fruit and just get as much. It's going to be skewing the amount of soul I have. Something is, which might be a problem later on, but hopefully not. Because I don't use the... It's definitely going to be an issue for one of the Easter eggs, because there's an Easter egg later on that requires you to be completely broke, have no more soul at all, which I might try to get, but I don't know. I think if I talk to things that are flowers here, okay, so the branch was dead and now there are a few leaves. However, that doesn't mean we have finished regenerating that part of the tree yet. It will be back to full health only when there's enough foliage on there. But I'm just gonna wait a bit and talk about the story of the game while we wait for that last one to grow. So, never mind that, Marty. Let's move on. So, in terms of the story of the game, it's not super clear on... Hey! So this scene is why I wanted to kill as few enemies as I could. You defeated Count Django? Impressive, soda boy. Who are you? I am the Dark Boy, Sabata. I am neither friend nor foe, for now at least. That isn't important. Here's my advice. Go no further, you already avenge your father. No. You cannot let the Immortal have their way. Even though the new continues, the world will... A life will perish. A life will perish? But that is the will of the galaxy. No one can stop it. This solar system's time is up. What do you mean? The men and women of this solar system, the animals, the plants, all share the sun's will. You must save money. That is moon beauty. A fight a battle you cannot win. To oppose the will of the galaxy. To deny the universe. The source of life, indeed. To deny the life on this planet. You know what you must. You and I decided to settle our difference. We want... Who in the world? He looked just like you. That scarf, it's the same smell as you. I don't think he's an immortal. Well, we have a job to do, Django. May the sun be with you. So what I meant by this is why I didn't want to kill enemies at the start of the game. If you kill too many enemies, that ball of dark energy will just smack you in the face. Thanks to the fact that I have avoided it, I am safe on that front. So now I'm going to start actually just murdering everything on my path. Yeah, no, that's the only reason why I didn't want to kill anyone at first. Just have that specific cutscene because I didn't have it in my solo one. But, you know, I crave violence and murder, so... And now we have reached the big game, the part where the game opens up pretty massively. As you can see, we have 1, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 undead dungeons to deal with. I am going to do 4 of them and get to... Which one am I going first? Yeah, I'm going to do the dungeon in the lower right corner of the screen first, because if I do it like that, it will unlock something kind of neat in the next one, and I don't think doing this one does anything special if you go to this one. At least none that I can think of. But what was I going to say? Right. I'm going to be doing 4 dungeons, and then we will go to that one. And first, we are going to go to this one. We're going to do this one, teleport back to where we just were, and another fortress. I think this one has a sword. Huh? What's that? Oh, that clone is still here. You can borrow solar ninja that clones, but you must pay back what you borrow. So I don't recommend this. Use dark clones only as a last resort. Get it? When your father was younger, never mind, I trust you, Django. May the sun be with you. Dark Clone has an Easter egg. If you go in there at night, you can meet Sabata again. And I'm going to go. I forgot about those. I just forgot falls. Those guys. I do not like the living shadows, but it is nice. I really should not try to murder them, but I turned around in order to try and blast him in the back, and I hit him and it detected me as a result. The simple fact I decided, you know what, I can kill things now just means I'm something super sleepy. I'm dead. Trap. Oh god, no, not this one. This is the trap. Obtain what treasure we got back. Oh, that's fine. And it's a good thing we did it so early, because now we don't have to care about being found at all. Rank A-. And give us 2 bananas. So that specific encounter is particularly annoying because if you are discovered at any point, there's just a giant steel ball falls on your head and you die. The game is kind to let you just start over from right where you were, but you know that's still annoying, and it does tank your rank. Come on, Django. That's a
Django.
life root. Bingo! With 4 life roots, you can boost your life range. The luck gauge is shown in the upper left corner of the screen. Yay. Half. Right, so story of the game. I think I've tried to start with talking about it like 5 times this stream, but always got sidetracked.
Django.
Like watch your step and the steps and the shadow keeping away from the sunlight. Like this, and you can't get the shot spear alerts. If you see or not, you can see it clearly through the distance. So in the world of Django, Boktai, there are Immortals. Immortals are undead immortal creatures who, if they die, will just come back to life after a time. There is also an energy called dark matter, from which immortals draw their power and are made from. Dark matter, if it accumulates too much, will just straight up kill you and bring you back to life as an undead. Undead and immortals are different things. Immortals are sort of individuals. They are able to talk, have feelings, even if those feelings are generally just murder the humans. And they're capable of thoughts. Undead, on the other hand, are no, they're kind of just unthinking creatures. And in order to deal with either of those, you have to use the power of the sun, which the gun their soul does wonderfully. There are other devices capable of doing that, such as a pile driver, which is apparently some kind of weird ancient pact between the sun and the moon, and the earth, rather. Something to note is they don't say it in this game, but they say it in the second game of the series, which, yes, I will be playing at some point later. I've never played it properly, but I am aware of that little tidbit of information. The Gundam Sun, I always thought it was some kind of weird relic.
Django.
Django, the rock blood, joins a rock block to the staircase and descend. Yes, great translation. The Gundam Sun, I always thought it was an ancient relic from bygone age because of how it's presented with a ton of gravitas. This tool is the only thing that can kill vampires and immortals and stuff like that. As it turns out, it's a pretty recent creation. It was created for Django's father. And beyond... Shit. This way... There we go. Over here.
Otenko.
Steps and then steps. Okay. I'm unable to ignore that and go. So the Gundam Soul is not as ancient as I thought it was. It's just something that was created semi-recently. Ah, Fencer, that's where I find it. Fencer is one of my favorite friends. Why? Because Sword. It's a more focused version of Knight. As you can see, it's attack C. However, it is incapable of stunning. The only real thing that can stun is Spear and Knight so far. The main advantage of this is that it can pierce. It has a bit more range than a regular Spide, so it can attack walls if you get the angle just right, so that's really nice. And more than that, it has a lot more range than, say, Shot, Spear. I am going to die. So that's an improved Buck. It's a stronger version of the Bucks, and I have completely messed up that encounter. Wow. Normally you're supposed to go down here, avoid them, and yeah. Which one? Ah, it's going to be the sword. And the trap defeat the sword. Swords are just going to be a recurring element. And the best way to hurt them is just to go inside of them. Oh, really? I'm surprised. So, in Django's world, between the pile driver and the solar tree, which is also some kind of representation, incarnation of Gaia, which is the spirit of the earth. You can tell that the sun and the earth have an alliance. And it used to be in a place called San Miguel. There's a lot of pseudo... I'm trying to think because I've never quite finished the second game, but I did play it a tiny bit a long time ago, and I think it's the look and feel of the place was more Mexican than Spanish in terms of the look of the place. So there's a lot of Spanish world and inspiration, but it's very, I think it's more Mexican than anything. And the characters don't look Mexican in the least. And San Miguel was a city of the sun, basically the capital of the sun. I don't really know what it means. I'm guessing it's going to be explored more in the second game. But it was where Django and his father, who was, I think he was a previous Solar Boy, and like Solar Boy is kind of some sort of title or something. And his father was more or less the Belmont of his time, just a very good vampire hunter who kept butting head with the Count of Groundsoaking Blood, who we just purified, who was his nemesis, and both of them just fought each other all of the time. And at the start of the game, what's going on is that San Miguel has been attacked and destroyed. Like Lita said, she was in San Miguel, the undead kind of just showed up with the Immortals, attacked the city, and now San Miguel and the Solar Tree are inside of Istarkan, which is a city of death. And when something is considered dead, it just shows up in Istarkan in order to be infected with dark matter and turned into an undead through a process called undeadening. In Django's case, his dad just got killed by the Count, and without much of anything, he didn't really have any direction or any guidance. He picked up his father Gundal's son and just went to Istrakan in order to get revenge, which is where he met Master Otenko and we start the game. That's the background of the game itself, which the game just does not communicate well to you.
Otenko.
Django. Move the two wooden boxes and use them as stepping stones to get to the green treasure chest. Gee, thanks. Yeah, well, that's this one. Not this one. This one is push it down once, push it that one, push it here, and now push it over there. Perfect. Not a difficult puzzle, but already a bit more complicated than it used to be. Ah, yes, I've messed up. Doing everything in sight is not always the answer. Most of the time, but not always. And that should be enough for me to leave. There we go.
Otenko.
It should invoke this to connect the stairs to the path. Yes, I do. This one is probably going to get me a nuclear restart. That way I can get it here after this one. Okay, I got it. Push this one down. And push it here. Should work. And laser chest. Okay. I forgot to teleport at you even if you hit it with a grenade. Steps just teleport on your ass, it's really not worth trying to kill.
Otenko.
Oh my! The sunbank is not gone yet. Django, you can deposit solar energy at the sunbank. Interest will be added to energy deposit, so you can increase energy. The sunbank is connected to the other save data. You can share energy with another solar ball. You don't understand? Make the sun with you.
Welcome!
So I have 999 from my other save. You can't go above 9199. And Soul does nothing in this game. It's just there to serve as energy.
Thank you very much.
I misremembered it and thought that, oh, you can just get stuff from it by spending it in some kind of a shop. No, there is. Another silver coin right here. There is no shop that allows you to spend your soul for stuff. It's just, I have a soul, I have soul, therefore I can just recharge my gun. So, I'm not sure I think those alarm things. I think that's like the only place in the entire game where they show up. randomly here and never again, which is kind of weird. I, at the very least, don't remember them being in a major dungeon anytime after that. Frame. I should have used Luna. I'm going to stay here. This bunks and super far away. I think I need 2 hits in order to kill those guys. I should have stayed my grenade for this. In theory, this is where my fencer would shine. Because it does not send them away, but... Oh, hey, speaking of lenses and level up, my lens is not level 2. Soul 2, which means it does more damage. Just need to try to come back here. And yeah, some enemies just blow the hell up. 3 minus, yeah. Apple. I believe... okay, so I don't know if you remembered, but this place here was not on the map at first. This is the game's super dungeon. I absolutely hate this game's super dungeon. I will go over why and how it completely breaks any semblance of balance in this game. I'm not entirely certain I'm going to use what we're going to find in there, but there is a decent chance that I will, and it's just really funny. And honestly, kind of the worst way possible. You'll see what I mean once we're there. But if anybody knows about it, no, I am not doing the super dungeon to the, until the end. I have a life. I want to live. Actually, before I leave... I probably shouldn't, but I am going to show you how the game expects you to traverse vast amounts of space. First, I'm going to use the solar leaf in order to go check on my fruits. I'm pretty sure they are not done yet. Yeah, no, they're not. No, you can't make me! Oh wait, he was talking about stuff. There is hope. Sunlight captured by the solar sensor. That light is sent to the solar tree. That light has the power to heal. Each ray heals the tree a little bit more. Together with the sun, can restore the tree to its former glory. Then perhaps it will be possible to fortify the star and star.
May the sun be with you.
May the sun be with you. What's wrong, Django? Worried about later? The solar tree is a symbol of Mother Gaia. The solar tree has the power to purify everything within darkness. But in its current state, that would be impossible. The solar tree's life itself is in danger. Its energy is being sapped by Trakan, the city of death. There is hope. The sunlight captures the solar sensor. You can't make me do the super dungeon. I refuse. I don't want to lose my life. I went back there to check on stuff. I go to the Boktai arsenal, and then I use that. Which allows me to move out of there, go into the next undead place, which we cleared as well. I do that. And we want. No. No. Not the grind, please. I don't wanna do it. Joking aside, you will understand what I mean by not wanting to do the grind when we get there. I just realized I can't actually show it off as soon as we get to it because we will need 2 solar lamps we don't have that we will get once we're done with the rest of the 2 bosses we've unlocked. But I will explain it at the very least. Just how it works, if not the rewards. I'm not surprised it shows up in Metal Gear Solid 4. Like, this game, as weird as it is, and this series as well, Kojima actually quite liked it from what I remember. It was one of his... I don't know if I can say darlings, but it was one of his... one of the funny little things he liked doing, one of the weird types of games he's known for, which just makes me sad it never really came back, because... Shit! The idea is just so weak, you know? I really wish it came back in a modern way. I don't know if I would like it to come back in a 3D kind of way, but just in a more modern pixel art game with more updated mechanics and stuff like that. It kind of already did with the Now Knights, but it's just not quite the same, doesn't hit the same notes due to how the game itself simulates how the sunlight went. And so you missed me trying to explain the story, the plot of the game. And while it's still a bit, while the iron is still relatively hot, when I mentioned stop. defense anything for this. Shit. I'm leaving. Since the iron is still hot, the amount of time you have to teleport around by going through dungeons, it's exponential every time you unlock new dungeons. For now it's not too bad because it was only 2 or 3, I can't count, it was 2. But as time goes on, it just gets so bad. Yeah. This is why I like this gun. This doesn't being at the bottom isn't going to hit that. Oh. Honestly, I'm no. Whoops, I forgot it. Yes, that did not stun. I'm no game designer, but I think if ever I designed a game, it probably would be something similar to this. Just because it's a neat concept. Knife. Okay. Knife, despite the name, is not something that's short range. It's an SMG. It's shockingly decent in terms of long range damage. Even if most enemies do have invulnerability frames, but I would still say it's kind of not great. It has, I'm pretty sure it has more range. Let's see, it disappears here. No, it has about as much range as a knife. As a knight. So overall it's just not the best of guns. But yeah, I'm no game dev or anything like that, but I think creating something like that, something weird and a bit quirky, is probably what I would like to do as a game if I ever try to make one. As I said before, I enjoy the spear, but when you want something dead, you really need something like the fencer. If it's something you can one-shot with the spear, the spear is great. But if it doesn't, usually it's going to be sent across the entire map, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to follow behind. So, fun fact about... never mind. I'm going to show you how you can absolutely 100% grade HE in this fight. Which, in this, all of the enemies can just heal you no matter where you knock. After that, you knock on here, and you just hide. Because the enemies are absolute dumbasses, they will just go into the sun, and they will die. Because the sun is able to purify them and do ton of damage. If you have high amount of sun, or even just low amounts of sun, they will... Well, I went for a very high amount because I found it much funnier. They will just... keep trying to go here, and they will burn themselves to death, and once one of them dies, you can help by throwing grenade at them. For example, if you're here and you have grenades, which I do not, you can shoot one grenade here and it will damage them even more. And if they're all bunched up and one of them dies, the grenade is going to kill everyone because they explode, and the explosion itself does a crap ton of damage to other... I don't actually know... All of the enemies in the game have a name. Every blue has a name. I don't know if this one has a specific name because it's not the invisible one, so it's not the Vanibok. But how did you? This is why I do not like golems. How did he see me? One flash to that. So I think the flash grenade would have been really useful over there. Change as a solar grenade changes what I would call kind of completely useless. So flash is you use it and everything on the map is stunned. It's a flashbang. It's going to stun everybody and everyone on the map is going to be knocked out, and you can just run around and do whatever you want. Change on the other hand is... You know the Chlorophyllon, the attack that goes through at you? Those weird little balls of energy? How did I get out of here? So there's... It's this one. Oh, the exit is over. I've missed that exit like 3 times. Transform those little energy balls, balls of dark energy, changes those little balls of dark energy into health. It's not Sorcery Sculling, I think. So the Sorcery Sculling, I think, means my fruits are done. Azure Sky Tower. Welcome to the special secret dungeon, which is on the map. Yes! Django, this is the Azure Sky Tower. The legend of the Moon's protector. The silver-white knight who slayed the demons is said to have taken place here. The knight is known as the Moon Guardian, and also as the Guardian of the Sword. Say the sword is still here, on the top of the floor of the tower. Many knights have died in this tower in search of that legendary blade. Such a place should succumb to the sickness of Istar Trakan. The place is likely crawling with undead. Still want to enter? I can't go in because you need ice and fire in order to get in. But I will still explain how this place works. The game doesn't quite explain it, but this is a tower that will grow as you go through it. It will start at 12 floors of randomly generated content. but it's very early generated, randomly generated content, so everything repeats very quickly, which does not help with how this place does not feel good. It starts with 12 floors of that. Every 4th floor or so, you have a mini-boss. Once you've cleared the mini-boss, you get some reward, and then your main reward is to just go further up. Once you reach the top, you get a reward. The rewards being gun frames. Each frame is the best frame of its type. For example, you can get the best spear frame, knife frame, axle frame, or fencer frame. The knight frame is technically also found, the best version of it is also technically found in this dungeon, but it's a bit different. So already you can kind of see the issue. It gives you endgame stuff if you decide to do it early. The other issue, which is probably the biggest problem with this place, is that you can, if you do things right, you can unlock all of those at once. The best 4 weapons of the game, you can get them all at once after clearing 12 levels. It's not particularly easy, but you can do it, and I have done it. Be it on my game cartridge when I was a kid, or previously when I played the game solo by myself in order to see if it was something I wanted to try and stream. And so I'm going to diminish the sound of the game just a little bit, because it looks a bit loud compared to the sound of my voice. Hopefully now it's better. And it's something you can do, and it kind of ruins the amount of power progression you have through the game, which isn't great, as you can imagine. But that's not the real issue with this secret dungeon. The main issue is every time you finish it, it builds itself up by 3 levels. So you start at 12, and it goes 15, and 15, 17, and 21, and so on and so forth. You might think to yourself, oh, so originally you're supposed to go in one time, do it one time, and then a second time in order to get the other weapon, and they messed up somewhere in order to make it a coherent whole. Yes and no. I think that is supposed to be the idea. The main issue is it doesn't stop growing after the first 4 playthrough. Oh no. Oh no. It does not stop growing until it reaches 99 floors. It's a lot of floors. And floors don't take just 1 minute or 2 to clear. In order to go from one floor to the next, you need to grab you need to kill a specific monster on the floor in order to get a key. The key allows you to go 1 floor up. So far so good. The main issue is you never know which monster has the key. It's random which one has the key, and some with the limited viewpoint of the camera, sometimes you just miss a monster half a dozen times while going through the floor, and you're just, oh shit, where, how, what do I do now? I can't find the enemy to kill. What the fuck? And the reward for going all the way up is the Knight Super Frame. Which, don't get me wrong, it's a good frame. But compared to having things like the best Fencer frame, the best Spear frame, okay, the best Axle frame, not really, and the best Knife frame, not really either, but even just those two frames, it's like super good. I am going to plant. The Zero Nut is a nut I'm going to be using a ton of if I can, because that's the only way to see where secret chests are, and those secret chests can be pretty useful. So I'm going to plant the Speed Nut and the Zero Nut. That being said, I think flying. What time is it? It's 10 AM. Yeah, 10 AM, I've been playing for 2 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the next Immortal dungeon as fast as I can. It's not too long from what I remember. And next time I'm just going to do the rest of the... do I do the... Do I do the Immortal dungeons or do I do the Undead dungeons? I'm gonna do the rest of the Undead dungeons and I will do the Immortal dungeons next time. It should be... not having it available for the rest of the week for the most part. I might have some time to stream tomorrow. I'm not sure what the B stands for here. But to end on talking about Silver Knight Tower, there is a bit of plot at the end of it, but it's not much in the way of anything really important. And I will probably just go over it. And yeah, it's just... after a while, it just becomes a multi-hour thing you have to do. When I did solo, I did it twice. A first time and a second time. And on the second time, it really took me over an hour and a half. It's just so long for so little video. Oh, and before I forget, no, it's not okay, so you just do it, save, and then come back to it later, in order to just progress slowly but surely. No. You cannot save in the tower. You are locked in the tower. You can't save, you can't leave, you're forced to either clear it or die. It's just quite poorly devised. That was a faster level than I was expecting. Disarm the trap if it depends. And here is the second type of boss, now attacks. Unlike the sword, I don't think this one has a specific thing you can do in order to damage it with its own attack. There's none that I can think of. The axes are just going to spin around, and I think you can flip in the hand. Like, wait until you does its attack again with us. Another way to damage it I found is to wait until it does this attack, where it teleports above you close to the ground and then stays there quite a while. That's about the only reliable method of doing that I've ever found. Oh, I've only been found once. That was a really fast level. I got to open the news. Dutch is coming. Going back to the solar tree when it calls to you is kind of an obligation, because if you don't, the fruits that are on the root are just going to rot away. And you will have wasted your mushroom. And you're just gonna have to, and you will just have wasted your fruit. There's an axe and a sword that are sort of living weapons. Later on there is also an armor, which is a bit more tanky than other of those, but not by much. So, as you can see here, there was a guy who fell down the pit. It's a small little puzzle that I don't remember if it brings you anything special. But if there's any sunlight, as you can see, there's a damaging area here, which will kill him because he's an idiot. But if there is no sunlight, there is a pit. If there is sunlight, there is a platform. Walking up the platform does not hurt him, and he can just do this. Which will give us... I think. Oh no, it gave us a lens. And I'm pretty sure a lens is an upgrade spear. Yep. So now we have the first A rank attack. A rank should be able to kill most enemies in of the power level we are currently at. Or at the very least, get them across the entire map. Even more. Too many. The seal on mask. This is why people do. Most of the time, the small chests you find this way are not going to do anything major, but it's nice to be able to just find stuff. Trap, kill on the trap, kill on the ones. And here is something that is very funny in the mummies. They will just kill themselves on this map. As you can see, mummies can lead themselves on fire, and they really just cut themselves and slow down. This is something you can do yourself once you have unlocked the fire lens. It's not honestly the best way to deal with menus, because while they run around indiscriminately, they will just bump into you and do quite a lot of damage that way. Most of the time, if they do that to any monster that isn't a mummy, they will more or less one-shot that monster, which is nice. But if they hit another mummy, they will light that mummy on fire. The issue is, it's a very slow process for them to die. It's not going to be any... They're not going to die anytime soon if they do that. And that's another way to forward. So, you know how the game tells you, yeah, you know you should use the seal nut in order to be able to see the steps. Behold what the seal nut does to the steps. They become glow in the dark. As you can imagine, I do not think it's worth much. I don't think using those fruits is worth anything when dealing with that type of enemy. I'm gonna keep using those, not for those guys, but more for just in case there's other secret chests. Because sometimes secret chests do just contain more seal nuts. The issue with seal nuts and those sort of nuts is you can only have one nut at a time active. So for example, right now I had the seal nut active. If I wanted to have the fast nut, I would lose the seal nut. But if I wanted the seal nut while I had the fast nut, I would lose it. Which is kind of an issue. A solution that will present itself later is that there is a solar gun grenade, which is just called scan, and it does the same thing as a seal nut. But it's a bit rarer than regular seal nut because you can't. Technically, you can farm them because I don't know if you've noticed, but every bomb or grenade you find is in orange chests, which are chests which just come back once you've finished the dungeon. Those just respawn, and I think I should have stopped streaming when I had the chance because my voice is dying. It's actually kind of hurting my throat now. I'm going to try and finish up very quickly. You can, if you find a dungeon that has scan grenades, you can go in and out, farm them that way, but it's kind of annoying. the explosion is going to alert the rest of them. It didn't. Ah, perfect. So yeah, you can just farm, scan as much as you want if you can find a place that has it. I don't think it's in any of the dungeons we have access to yet. It might be in the next one, but I'm not sure. Perfect. Kind of, yeah. I think for this one I want to go this way first. I think it's a live route that's in. But in order to access it, you first need to this. Ignore the bird, they are annoying. I think the stun grenade actually kills all of those guys. Mostly because they just made them drop out of the sky. And this is why you wanted to grab that one of the most important upgrades of the game. We can now have triple the amount of battery. It's just there, out of the way. The game wants you to explore, we'll give it that much. Here. I'm going to go up first. Think. This is probably not what I was. The place I was thinking of. Change. The nice thing about Lance is that now we can one-shot clones if we get beyond them. I don't think we're gonna find any... this time I don't think we're gonna find... Yeah. I'll defeat the assault. Maximum of babies. Where did I miss that? Pretty bad place. In this case, I keep forgetting it's map and then you switch to whichever you want. I think the fencer will just be better in this case. Red mushrooms are actually kind of important to the game later on, but for now all they do is... I'm small. It does nothing except make you small. I'm pretty sure you actually take more damage this way, but you can't even open chests. Other use of the seal nut, now you can actually kind of see where the solar bamboo shoots. Otherwise they're pretty much invisible and you don't ever really see. Map-wise... don't think there is anything special for that. I guess technically you could maybe farm this place for some seal nuts, since it should respawn, but I don't know if it will. The best way to farm stuff like to farm most fruits is just figure out which undead dungeon has a bunch of it as a reward, and try to do it with the highest rank you can. And usually that gives you either 1 if you have a low rank, or up to 5 or 6 of it if you have a high rank. In any case, my voice is giving out and we have done every single undead dungeon, so next time we will be having the cutscene. These are Guardian series. We will have to purify 2 Dark Guardians. I sense darkness to the east. I sense darkness to the west. You can raise the level of your solar gun lens by purifying immortals and undead. With each increase in level, the lens causes more damage and its spread gets bigger. Each lens has to change the gun's attack element. There are some immortals and undead that are especially vulnerable to specific attacks elements. The gun can be strengthened by changing frames. In addition to normal frames that might, there are sword-like, rotating, heavy, and automatic fire frames, and also some rare frames over them. Some undead can be defeated with specific frame types. Thanks to talking to him, I forgot what to say. Right, next time we will be doing this place here. Immortal Dungeon of... a giant volcano! The Firetop Mountain. We'll be doing it and the other Immortal Dungeon right after, because they aren't super long. This isn't a particularly long game. I think at most it takes 4 or 5 hours? But yeah, we will do that, maybe explore a bit more of what the story of the game is supposed to be. Maybe not, I don't remember if we will have enough to go off of. In any case, thanks for